All right, so we are recording a podcast, our first podcast.
Yes.
And where are we?
At Laguna Beach.
Out in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason we're out here is because of Mosaic. Shout out Mosaic Church. We are doing an internship with them, and it all started 2 months ago. And so we've been out here ever since. But yeah. So tell us a little quick story on how we got here.
Well, I found an Instagram post about Mosaic wanting to do an internship and sent it to my husband right away. Little did I know, my husband already knew about it, but was afraid to bring it up.
No, yeah. And so we're like, let's apply. Let's see where this takes us. I mean, we were just newly married, and we're like, all right, why not? Let's take a chance.
Why not? Yeah.
And the moment we applied, we just started believing in faith, asking God, like, if this is where He wants us to be, we'll go. We started doing our preparation. Whether we got in or not, we didn't know if we were gonna get in.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so we started looking for housing, started looking for jobs, started looking for like how we would make this possible and like how we would uh, do it. We left our jobs back in El Paso, so we left our steady income and we made it out here. So
Took huge leaps of faith to get here, but I think in those beginning stages, it was super awesome to just see our community just be so helpful, so supportive, and honestly, just see how God worked in that in the span of like 2 weeks when we found out and basically told everyone at the same time.
Yeah.
What do you remember from like our first time like entering California? Like, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I was definitely scared. Did not know what to expect. Just being in a new city, being in a new state. It was very different, especially the traffic. I think I remember the first thing coming into California. The traffic was crazy. There was like 6 lanes of cars driving, and then it was in the middle of the night, so like I didn't know what the speed was. Like I kept on like having to like hazardly, like I was driving slow in comparison to like people in LA, and yeah, like that was like my first experience, but yeah, I think it was like nerve wracking, but it was also exciting.
Yeah.
To be there to kind of figure it out together. It was just me and Melissa figuring it out. So I think I love that part of it.
Definitely. I think like coming in, we came in during the night, so we didn't even get to see where we were. It was definitely a little scary at first. And then the way the roads were and the cars, it was just really wild. But once the sun came out, I feel like we were able to really look at this city from a whole new like point of view. I remember just taking everything in and being in awe of everything, like the ocean, the hills, the greenery, and then also like not even being bothered by the traffic at the time, just feeling like we're literally walking, living, breathing in a miracle that I never would have dreamt for myself or believed was possible at all.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, definitely. And yeah, like she said, like we were able to actually see it all, and it was so cool coming to Mosaic. Just like seeing everything that they've been doing, everything that they are doing. We just, from the moment we got there, we were in awe and in wonder of what God was doing, and it was just so beautiful to see. Like every day we were learning something new, and it was awesome. So yeah, what was your experience like with Mosaic?
Again, still in awe of everything. The first people that we met just blew my mind in a sense of like, just exceeded my expectations of what servanthood was. the first person we met was Robbie, and he was like cleaning up trash around the church, and just to prep it so that people could be ready to like receive Jesus. And that was like the mission that everyone was for, you know, like we're setting this place up to prepare a place for people to receive Jesus. And I just thought that was such a beautiful way to look at things, you know, especially in LA, like, and the, I guess, like the publicity that Mosaic has, you wouldn't think like that would be necessary, but it's just all those little details that went into it to make the experience so much more inviting for people, which was really cool. That I really loved and was really like inspired by.
No, yeah, definitely. And it's just and with that, it was just like meeting all these incredible people, like you said, like just like Robbie's one of them, and we love Robbie. And just like everyone was uniquely themselves, you know.
Yeah.
That we felt, and we felt generally at home with it, and yeah, it gave us more permission to kind of be ourselves, you know, and discover ourselves.
Definitely.
And yeah, the biggest thing we've been learning, I would say, is that like to have bigger dreams, you know, have dreams beyond, like, I guess God dreams,
Yeah.
you know. And I guess for a while, like, we realized like we don't have crazy big dreams, we don't have God dreams yet. And the cool thing about that is that we're like a week away from conference, and this conference that Mosaic is having is called Dreams.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's a coincidence. I think these are where dreams are made, you know, with God, and it starts with God. And yeah, so just super excited to see what God has for us. This is why we're doing this podcast. It's because we want to expand and take action on some of our dreams.
Definitely.
And we just want to share and let people in on that. And for us to like document like where we were at and what's been going on while we're here. So yeah.
I think another thing that like our heart is for doing this podcast is creating content that like, or creating videos that can make people feel less alone, and also that can really encourage people that, you know, God is in your story and that He really does work things out for His good. Speaking on that, I think today's perfect topic would be just kind of like touching on, you know, moving into the unknown. Do you want to kind of talk about how that looked like in this season for you?
Yeah. I think it was definitely a lot of difficulty. Especially, I'm very much more of a planner, preparer. So being in the unknown is very stressful for me. This is the first time, like I said, like we left our jobs. We had no stability whatsoever coming here, and I mean, we were blessed enough to have family and friends that supported for the first month, at least. And then it was like completely all on our own, and so it was scary. It was scary, really seeing like the finances like go by so fast. So yeah, seeing our finances go by so fast, and then like everything in LA is super expensive. You're paying for pretty much everything, like from parking to like groceries and food. So it was definitely a challenge, and it definitely took me out of the moment that we were here. But through it all, like God was still there, and He continued to make a way.
Yeah.
Like as we drew closer to Him, and as we continued to serve, like Mosaic in the church, like we were realizing like we were meeting with people. We were like people were on our corner, you know, like meeting us where we're at and helping us find like a gig here, a gig there, and it's kind of what has helped us thus far. And not to say that we're fully making it yet, but we still have a couple more weeks, and that's still an unknown. But I'm realizing like throughout the process, it's just about trusting God.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like some handlebars for myself is like, or at least what I would have told myself before is like, don't be surprised that things aren't gonna like always be the best, or that you're gonna struggle, you know. There's definitely a lot of things that came out of left field for us, a lot of expenses as well that we didn't realize would be really big out here. But you know, God comes through and He really takes care of the need. I think that's a big thing that I've been seeing, and I think most of all, just when you do get into a moment where you're terrified or you're nervous of what's the next, you know, I think it's fine to feel that, but reposition yourself, realign your heart with the mission that God has for you, and then also the truth that like God's gonna take care of you through it all,
Yeah.
which is really cool. At least that's what I've seen, and that's what I've experienced out here. Is as much as you get that blessing of the new, like you also get those hard trials, but in that, like, you're able to grow and learn and grow in your faith because you're able to see God move in
Yeah.
ways that you couldn't, you know?
Yeah, and to add to that, like even just embracing community,
Yeah.
you know, like that's the biggest thing. Is like it's okay to tell people where you're at realistically, you know, and because that's where when you invite people, you never know like, what that's gonna lead to, you know. And I think that's a big factor here at Mosaic, especially just telling people it's like, hey, I don't know what I'm gonna do, you know, like I'm looking for something, I don't know what to do, you know. So bringing people in has been another big thing for us.
Definitely.
So
Well,
yeah,
this is only the beginning.
yeah,
I know there's a lot more that we have to cover, a lot
more that we want to share.
that we do want to share, and I guess what would be like a last takeaway for you?
I think just something that's been on my heart lately is just dream bigger, you know, dream bigger for yourself. Don't be afraid to dream bigger. Even if you don't know where to start, I think that's my biggest prayer is like, God, allow me to dream bigger for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of scared of what that may be, but I'm also excited because I don't even know what I'm asking for, you know, when I'm saying to dream bigger. So yeah, don't be afraid to dream bigger.
Yeah, I would just say be on alert, but also be in the moment. You know, be expectant, but also be still. It's not all on you. And honestly, like, just enjoy the time that you do have. I think, especially with this internship, it's just something that is never going to happen again.
Yeah.
In a good and a bad way, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're never going to be in this spot again, but appreciate it for what it is, you know? Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll have some more of this, and comment anything you want us to talk about if you're interested in knowing a little bit about our story.
Yeah, for
So.
sure. Alrighty. Bye, y'all.